Being the kid in the birds, making it look good, especially in a city where it's cool to be hood. But please, don't let the skinny jeans get you hurt. That same nerd to push work and murk first. But shout out to the skateboarders out of Frisco. Me and Bam Bam getting faded at the front door. Same kid you thought was off a year ago. I pull out the shell for the beef and the cheese and make you a taco.
The first game is the Jets at the Broncos.
You know, I think this is the toughest pick of the year so far with the way these two teams have been playing. I think it's going to be a very close game that comes down the wire, but the running game of the Broncos have been able to control the clock really with Timmy, and I think they can do just enough to squeak out a 17-14 win over the Jets at home. But the Jets will still finish the season 11-5 and return to 16 to the playoffs.
I think
Tim's Jets right.
I think the Jets will win just because that's my team, and even though they didn't look that good last week, they win.
Well, according to Rex Ryan, they're done. They're not making the playoffs. He's the most overdramatic person I've ever seen in my entire life. They are falling apart, but Denver is not that impressive either. However, they are in Denver. It might give them a slight edge for a close victory. I'm going Denver.
Tim Tebow went 2 for 8
Yeah.
against
And
the
they
Chiefs,
still won.
and he's going against Darrelle Revis, the top cornerback in the NFL. So I go with the Jets. Next game is the Jaguars at the Browns.
I think Colt McCoy comes out and has the game of his career with Rasheed Mathis tearing his ACL and being out for the year, and I think at home Cleveland bounces back from their loss to the Rams last week and they win this game by a score of 20-13 at home.
I don't care about those teams. I just think the Browns.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Browns.
I'll pick Jacksonville just because it got Maurice Jones-Drew. Next game is the Panthers at the Lions.
Lions had a tough divisional loss last week, but Carolina played flat last week, and I think at home they'll come back and get ready to prepare for that Thanksgiving Day game against the Packers, and they'll have a good game against the Panthers defense, which is not very good, and I think Megatron has at least 2 touchdowns, Stafford throws for 4 touchdowns. I think at home the Lions hold serve and win this game 31-17 over the Panthers team.
I think Lions will win, even though they're falling apart. We still win at home.
Carolina did not look impressive this past week. They lost horribly. Not that Detroit is really holding up very well either, but I'm saying Detroit.
I take the Lions here, but I don't think they make the playoffs at all. Next game is the Buccaneers at the Packers.
Talk about somebody who's fallen apart. That's the Buccaneers. You know, they started out, they beat both the big division rivals at home, but ever since then they've just been awful. And now they're facing the best team in football. It's bad news, and I think Green Bay gets an easy 35-10 win.
I think the Packers will win also. They're the best team right now.
Yeah, Packers.
Yeah, I take the Packers here too. Next game is the Bills at the Dolphins.
Another team falling apart is the Bills. Fitzpatrick's a good quarterback, but other than Fred Jackson, his receivers and Stevie Johnson, his receivers aren't really that great. And Miami's starting to play better now. So I think at home in a close divisional game, they'll be able to win this game 20-14.
I think the Dolphins will win. They're starting to do better. Like you said, the Bills are falling apart.
Yeah, the Bills, I think, are sort of self-destructing, and Miami seems to be gaining some momentum, so I'm going to go Miami.
Yeah, I don't think the Dolphins will be able to stop Fred Jackson, so I take the Bills.
And let me just say one more thing about Buffalo. I mean, Dallas has a terrible pass defense. Had Mike Jenkins out, and they put up 7 or 10 points. It's terrible.
Next game is the Raiders at the Vikings.
Carson Palmer's becoming Carson Palmer again, and other than Adrian Peterson and developing Connor, the Vikings really have nothing. So I think that with this bye week they had, I think the Raiders stake their claim with the Broncos for the AFC West, and I think they win this game in Minnesota by a score of 24-10, regardless if McFadden comes back or not this week.
I think the Raiders will win also.
I agree. I think Oakland has edge here.
Yeah, I believe Oakland will be a scary team in the playoffs when they have McFadden back. So I'll take Oakland here. Next game is the Raiders at the Redskins.
Who are the Redskins?
Oh, the Cowboys at the Redskins.
Yeah, like I said, the Redskins aren't going to win again, and they'll have a quarterback that keeps flip-flopping, and I think Dallas just has just enough to win this game, but I don't think they blow them out. I think that Dallas wins this game 21-10.
I think the Cowboys will win also, but not by much.
I agree. Cowboys.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys will. I think they will be able to win the NFC East hill. Next game is Bengals at the Ravens.
For some reason, the Ravens can't beat bad teams. I don't know why that is, but against every good team they've played well, and they're undefeated at home as well. And I think that Cincinnati's catching them on a bad week, and it's going to be a close divisional game, but I think they'll be able to win this game 20-10 at home.
I think the Bengals will win because the Ravens aren't doing that good anymore. They lost last week.
I think it's going to be very close. I think that the Ravens basically prepare for the Steelers, and that's about it. So I'm hoping that they're arrogant as usual, and that they underprepare, and that the Bengals can come in and beat them, so that the Ravens don't have a 3-0 record in the division.
Yeah, I'll take the Bengals though. I still think the Steelers is a better team than the Ravens, and the Bengals almost beat the Steelers. This game is the Seahawks at the Rams.
I think your fantasy performer of the week is going to be Steven Jackson. I think he gets close to having 200 yards and he gets 2 scores in this game. I think that the Rams win this game at home and get their 3rd win of the year, and I say they win this game 31-20 over the Seahawks.
I think that Rams will win.
Whenever I pick Seattle, they lose. But I'd like to think that they have a little momentum after last week, so I will say Seattle.
I'll pick the Rams here. Next game is the Titans at Falcons.
Tennessee had a good win last week, but I just think that was because Carolina wasn't really prepared for the game. And I like the play calling of Atlanta going for 4th and inches, but I hate the actual call. They should have just done a quarterback sneak. But I still think they'll have enough to win 24-13 over the 24-14 over the Titans at home.
I think the Falcons will win.
You're worrying.
Yeah, I think the Falcons are going to be hungry after that last-second loss there. I think the Falcons will win.
Chris Johnson came back to life last week, but the Falcons got a top 10, I think top 5 on defense. So I think the Falcons will. Next game is the Chargers at the Bills.
At the Bears?
Yeah.
Wow, the Bears are really starting to play some good football right now, and San Diego, I don't know what's wrong with them. I think North Turner could be out of the job by the end of the year. And I think the Bears and Lions will be 10-6, and it'll depend on conference record for the wild card there. And I think at home they hold serve pretty well, and I say they beat up on the with Matt Forte having a big game. I say they win 27-14 over San Diego.
They're both good teams, but I think the Chargers will win. They almost beat Green Bay. They're the best team right now.
I'm going to pick the Bears.
Yeah, I take Chicago too. Next game is the Eagles at the Giants.
This is the season for my Eagles this week. Played very bad last week, but they benched Deshaun Jackson for missing a team meeting and had some injuries. But the key to this game is going to be give LaShawn McCoy the ball. I mean, he had a bunch of carries against Dallas, and they killed him. And the Giants have blown big games at home. They should have lost to Miami, and they lost to Seattle. I think they find a way to pull this game out 27-24 by field goal. I save the season for now.
I think the Giants would win at home, and the Eagles haven't been doing that good as they should, and they look like they would mess up a bit.
Yeah, they stay in it, and then something just happens. The Giants, however, I think are sort of erratic as well. So, all right, I'll pick the Giants for Eric.
My Vic has 2 broken ribs on the second play on Sunday, so I think he won't really run. So, and I think the Eagles do that just so they could scale the Giants. But I take the Giants too. Let's go with the Chiefs at Patriots.
This is the easiest pick of the week by far. Tyler Palco has ended the Chiefs' chances at the playoffs with that injury. They're depleted, and the Patriots defense was a decent game. I recommend that as a fantasy sleeper defense this week. And it's at New England, New England's undefeated at home against AFC teams, so I will take Patriots in this game big, 38-7, and I say Brady for his first 4 yards.
I think the Patriots would win, even though I don't like them, but they're undefeated at home.
Not else the Giants.
I think the Patriots will win. Tom Brady might not cry this week.
Yeah, I take the Patriots here.